You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 329 for Sunday the 23rd of August 2020.
Where dreams begin.
Well, hello and welcome to the Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Well, a bit of an unusual show this week because I've not got the old Janester with me. She's unfortunately up to her nose in decorating and prep for going back to work. So I've called upon my two good buddies, Kat and Lewis from Diz Down Under, to join me and to continue the chat from their previous week's show, all about our Disney adventures. Hi guys!
Hey Michelle, how you going?
G'day Michelle.
So let me do this properly, okay, properly. We have the curvaceous Cat.
Nice.
And then we have the lively, likeable and luscious Lewis.
Yeah, luscious is a good one to throw in there. Or we could just call him a plain old lush, I mean.
I was meaning luscious as delectable, not as alcoholic.
Oh dear.
Well, as you will know, Kat and Lewis have been on the show many a time to talk about pre-trip planning, post-trip planning, Disney in general, but we don't have a trip to talk about, guys.
Yeah, it's no trip planning.
And these are the COVID times that we are living in. But I thought today it'd be really good to continue the discussion that we had on your show from last week, where we talked a little bit about how we're keeping ourselves busy with Disney in these current times, and sort of move it back onwards to thinking about how we're keeping Disney in our hearts with regards to reminiscing on past trips and thinking, are we thinking about future trips? Are we imagining where we could be in future times? But we'll get to that in a few moments. So firstly, can you just sort of give us a little bit of an overview about you guys and your situation at the moment, where you are in Perth? What's it like with regards to your daily life? And also, have you got anything actually planned?
Well, our daily life is very unrestricted. We are really, really fortunate in that so Australia has a prime minister, but each state has what we call a premier, which leads the state government. And our premier took a really hard stance on borders and recognised that there was an opportunity to minimise the community spread and sort of stamp it out by doing a pretty heavy lockdown and also making it very difficult to get in and out of Western Australia. As a result, we are looking pretty good at the moment, and we don't have too many restrictions. There are some restrictions still in, but they're pretty minimal in terms of just ensuring that people are observing social distancing. So we are very lucky, wouldn't you say, Lewis?
Oh, incredibly lucky that, life is going on as usual. The rest of Australia is not quite as lucky as we are, with Victoria having a resurgence, quite a large resurgence recently, and New South Wales being affected as well, and the ACT, which is slap bang in the middle of those two, having some problems as well, and Queensland as well. But I think Northern Territory, South Australia, WA and Tasmania are doing okay. So
yeah, for the most part. So, I mean, as far as restrictions go and our capacity to live our lives normally, we can do so, but we can't leave the country, we can't leave the state really, without having a valid reason. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Actually, I had a colleague who had to go and support someone in a court case recently in another state, and that was actually deemed to be a reason enough for her to get a travel waiver. So that was good that she was able to do that, because it was quite important that she be there for that. But other than that, it's very much we're here, we're in West Australia, and that's our lives. So no Disney trips being planned at the moment, just until we get to that stage where things are safe.
No, I think that sounds very, very appropriate. Are you both working from home, or are you able to go out to work in your normal place of business?
It's kind of interesting because Lewis previously has largely worked from home because his job has been out on the road. In his current role, however, he was expected to still attend the office because there's only what, three of you, four of you in the office. So they could observe social distancing in that environment. My office shut down for a long period, and we're sort of doing a graduated return to work, but I still do work from home occasionally because you get a whole lot done, it turns out, when you're at home. So even though I look after a team, we're still able to communicate through all the lovely I guess, what do you call it? Zoom. Like communications. We don't use Zoom. Zoom's like, anyway, but through the communications facilities that we've got in this lovely technological world that we live in. So we're able to keep in contact even when I'm not in the office. It's almost like being in the office. It's just that instead of standing up and walking over to a desk, you just sort of hit the go button on the video and it's like Skyping someone.
Yeah, all sounds a bit of a mixed bag then, really, between what's happening. Well, over here in the UK, where I particularly live, I'm in a heavier lockdown than a lot of the rest of the country. So we're not supposed to mingle in each other's homes and visit people. Some people following this, some people aren't. I put my hands up now and say I am following it. I am doing the right thing. So it's an interesting old world. But anyway, let's get on to our Disney conversation. So I'd like to take us back in time to the first time we actually physically met.
Excellent. So 2018.
2018, and I believe, now you may call this wrong or right, I don't know, but I think we was at the Magic Kingdom, and it was late one evening, and we met just by the Mickey Floral as I was coming through the ticket booth. Am I right?
You're spot on. Absolutely spot on.
But we had kind of arranged to meet.
Yeah, it wasn't like we just ran into each other. Although that would have been gold. I think that'd be something that only we could pull off.
And we spent a little bit of time going around the park together, but that was a planned meet because you had sort of hopped on the cruise Walt Disney World trip I had planned with Stephen and basically enhanced it beyond belief. And within minutes of meeting each other, I think we just sort of hit it off because we had a similar sort of outlook and sense of humour.
Oh, definitely. I think, yeah. I mean, Australians are pretty close in humour anyway to to the people of the UK, but yeah, definitely very, very similar sensibilities.
And I think if I remember rightly, the next day we met up again at the Disney dress shop and we ended up in a big cubicle trying on 20 million dresses to decide if we enjoyed it, and the delight of your face finding out that a particular dress had pockets was beyond belief.
That photo still cracks me up to this day. It was just like, so, like, to set the scene, it was this giant, oversized fitting room. It was huge. And I think that we managed to fill it with dresses almost completely. It was like walking through a jungle of these things. And because if I remember correctly, either the changing rooms weren't available or there was something happening with them at the time. And so we had to go across to, was it the men's store? Was it like what's that store that's got all the ties and stuff like that? So it wasn't actually in the dress shop. So we were running across from the dress shop and back, getting different sizes and different styles. And, oh, wait, I just saw this on the way back, so we should try this one on as well.
What had we done with Lewis? Where was you? Had we dispatched you somewhere?
Well, you guys were doing your dress shopping, and I was like, oh, I'll go and have a look around. And so I went and I looked in the Star Wars shop, and I looked in the toy shop, and I looked around the Disney shop as well. I did all that stuff, and I went, they're still going. And so I was like, oh, well. And they got the area where there's a stage and like an amphitheater kind of situation going on there. I got a coffee and I sat down there and I was watching the birds, and I'd never seen birds so hot in my life before. And when I mean like hot birds, I'm referring to the birds. The birds were animals and they were like panting.
Oh no!
And I was like going, there with the beaks open. The birds were standing there with their beaks open.
Wow!
I was like, I've never seen this before. Like they were that hot. They just were like trying to get some of the heat out, kind of thing. So
poor birds.
But yeah, it was. I do remember that vividly. Going, my God, they're taking a long time.
There were a lot of dresses to try on. What can I say?
I wish I'd realized, because I think I trying to find.
I thought that's what you were doing.
Was I trying to find
the void?
The void.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find the void until we were leaving. I think I found the void as we were leaving.
Because it was near where the Uber place was, or Lyft or whatever.
No, there it is. Oh my God, there it is. It's like, yeah. So if I'd found the void, I would have gone and done the Star Wars thing a lot earlier.
Probably could have done it 3 times in the time we took. But yeah, I think that it's you know that a friendship's good when you can walk in and just like, we'd known each other all of about 5 minutes. Jump into the same change room and try some dresses on.
But the thing is with the Disney dress shop is the sizing is so inconsistent, because in one style you could be one size, in another style you could be a bigger size. So we had to try them all on, and then we had to decide, well, which was the better fitting one, because some fit better than others. And we also had a budget to consider as well, because we didn't want to just come out with 15 dresses because I'd never fit them in the case.
Yeah, that was my problem.
We also didn't want to buy the same dresses of each other and turn up for dinner on the Disney cruise ship looking like weird, odd, unidentical twins.
So true. We had to plan that one out a little bit. But it was actually quite interesting that even though most of the dresses were branded the same, the different styles definitely fit very differently. And there were some that just like they really suited you, but they'd look horrible on me. And it was just like, oh, this is quite an interesting experience, because when you go shopping, that's quite often what you get. But it's just you. So you don't see, oh, it is designed to actually look nice on someone. That's good. It's just like, it's quite interesting.
Well, I remember that during that trip as well, I saw this shirt at Epcot, which was the orange shirt with Spaceship Earth on it. And I went, oh, that looks quite nice. And Michelle had said she'd bought one for herself earlier in the trip. And I think Stephen got one as well. And so I tried it on. I was just like going, yeah, this does not suit me at all. This looks terrible.
It's funny. Clothing's weird like that.
Yeah.
It is. And that was such an amazing trip, because we had Walt Disney World time, then we had the cruise ship. But then if I forward wind to our last day, we went into, I've forgotten the name of the place in Italy, and you'd ordered some wine and some snacks, like all sorts of little picky up meats and cheeses. What was the name of the place?
Tuttogusto?
Yeah, and we sort of had a bittersweet time, because you suddenly realised, oh, I've got to go. I've got a bus coming soon to take us to the airport. And it was like going outside and trying not to cry as I hugged you goodbye.
Oh, yeah, no, there were tears. Because like Lewis is like, no, we've got to go now. I'm just like, no.
I think I said
because I think the bus was leaving from Beach Club, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I said there's no crying in Disney.
there were tears. I was so upset. Yeah, I mean, it was just that whole thing of like we'd had such a good time, and it was just like very abruptly, just like, oh, frack, it's coming to an end.
Yeah, but we had so many fun memories on that trip. And is there any from there that you guys would like to share?
I'm just trying to think. I think the first attraction that we rode together, I might be wrong, but I'm sure that we jumped onto the People Mover.
Possibly so, yeah.
Yeah, which was really cool. It was just like, right, cool. Which was kind of a nice one, because you can have a bit of a chat while you're on there as well. I just remember it was sort of that, just like the last bit of light was fading from the day, so the castle was, starting to come up with its lights, and it was really pretty.
I just remember that when we were told that we were going to meet Stephen and that he was coming on the cruise with you. And that initial part, because we had the time in Walt Disney World and then the cruise and a bit more time in Walt Disney World before we went home.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't meet Stephen until the actual car trip to the boat or to the ship. And so I don't know if Kat was thinking, but in my mind I was going, does he exist? Is he a real person? Is this Michelle's imaginary friend?
Oh, that's too funny.
Because we had planned to meet him like prior to going on the cruise, but it just never eventuated.
Well, I'm just trying to think, because when you came and met us at Magic Kingdom, was that an after hours event?
No,
was that or extra magic hours? I can't remember.
We had booked another time to do the after hours event.
Yes.
But it must have, Stephen mustn't have booked it, because I remember asking him to do it, but I think he was being a bit financially cautious. So just the three of us did it. And do you remember hunting round the castle just before midnight and looking at all the cockroaches?
Yeah, it was so gross. But so much fun. It was like, yeah, we've got to get the photo. Like, and we were determined to stay there as long as we could. But it was just gross at the same time. It's like, oh, maybe it's time to go if the cockroaches are moving in. It's amazing that they know what time closing time is.
I think they just wait for there to be less people around, more than anything.
Possibly.
But I was like very mindful of the fact that when the park was closing down and we were hanging around the castle, the security was on the other side of the castle. I was wondering how long it was going to take to walk through and like shuffle us off, like, because we were like some of the last people that were in that park.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Sometimes you need to close these things down.
Yeah. But no, it was good. It was so meeting Stephen was good. Like to know that he actually existed. That was quite.
I can't believe you thought he didn't exist.
Well, it was like just like you hadn't seen the guy. You heard about him, but you hadn't seen him. So
Stephen, international man of mystery.
Yeah, but then on the actual cruise itself was just amazing. Like I didn't know how good it was going to be, even though we'd been told by Sam and Ashley how good it was going to be. But it was just phenomenal, just an absolutely amazing trip.
Do you think, Michelle, because it was your first Disney cruise as well, wasn't it? Do you think that it sort of made it better doing your first Disney cruise as a bit of a group?
I think it did, because if I would have just been there with Stephen, I think it would have made it a different holiday. Or if I'd have gone with Tom, that would have been a very different holiday, because he's very much of, I don't want to mix with people I don't know type of person, because he's a lot more private and a lot more sort of reserved than myself or perhaps even Stephen is. And I think the four of us just got everything we possibly could out of that ship. We did the tour where they take you around and see all the secrets and tell you about the artwork and take you in the lounges and things, which was amazing. We did the first day of going in and looking around the nursery and things like that and sitting in the silly plastic cars.
Oh, they must have thought that we're just absolutely nuts. We're just like, yeah, no, we're going to look at absolutely everything we can. And then you boys, I think we found you down in the other bit because that was in the Tiny Tots bit.
Yeah.
And then you boys were down the other bit, like there was some Star Wars game or something.
Yeah. There's a Star Wars game you could play, but it was quite fun. Like I think it was kind of like you're piloting the Millennium Falcon, if I remember rightly. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
But then also Stephen and myself, we found ourselves in the spa area because we went there for the competition where they like give away like spa prizes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it was just funny, like out of the group of four, you think it was the two women that would go to the spa for that, and yet it was me and Stephen that were there trying to win this stuff. That's
pretty funny. Yeah. Good times though. It's just and it's just like so much fun to be had, like just on the ship itself without the excursions even coming into play. It's interesting.
But
It was such a different experience from what I expected it to be.
Stephen's got on another. He actually ran the Disney Magic, and his photographs and stuff are coming through now. Because he did this thing where he just went on Disney trips and banked them up, and now he's releasing them, and as if he's doing it, kind of thing. And it's been great seeing him on the Disney Magic, and he said that he had a great time with us on the fantasy, and like it'd be great to be able to do a big group trip again. So,
sometime in the future, I'm sure there'll be time to meet up on a Disney cruise line excursion to somewhere exotic.
Yes.
Who knows where? Maybe they'll be coming to Australia.
Yeah, possibly. I think it could be a very, very distinct possibility.
All crossed. But the thing is, we have so many things in common because we are kind of foodies, and our love for food was sort of meshed on that trip because we'd done the Paolo brunch, you'd done the Remy brunch, we did the Remy dinner together. So we had lots of comparison opportunities to sort of talk about what we'd done separately but together. But that meal at Remic was pretty spectacular. Where else in the world have you ever been given a footstool for your handbag and put on the most crappiest, downtrodden, scruffy Kipling backpack in your life because I'd left my very nice designer handbag at home and ended up having to take this horrible moth-eaten thing into Remy, and they put it on this little footstool.
I know, it was so sweet. It's like it was every little thing that they did just really made that experience even more special. I mean, you couldn't even go up to the bathroom on your own. You had to be escorted to the bathroom. It was very cute.
Well, unless you were called Stephen.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
If you're female, you got escorted to the bathroom. If you're male, you didn't get escorted to the bathroom.
Well, they probably thought, you guys, you just wouldn't feel comfortable having a male escort take you to the bathroom.
Whereas we were more than comfortable. I actually wondered whether it was because you were laughing so hard after you'd had your first because they did the little champagne cocktail. Because I hadn't been to the bathroom yet. I thought they'd just done that because they're going, is she going to be a bit wobbly on her feet after that cocktail?
Well, we'd had champagne previous because we'd gone to the special event that Tiffany's had invited us to, because anyone who had booked Remy got invited to go to an exclusive opening of Tiffany's, and they opened a brand new bottle of champagne for us, and by the time I'd drunk my champagne there, I was getting a bit tiddly because I had an empty tummy, and then we had the champagne cocktail on the boat. It's like, I am so blasted.
It was good fun. It was really good fun. And the food was just incredible. Like that standard of food I know that you've already paid to eat on board, so you've already paid that bit, but really for the price that you pay for the upcharge, it is so worth it. Even if you only do it once in your life, it is so worth it.
And I think the thing you guys did between ordering the French and the American menu was great because you could see the differences and pick and change.
Yeah, definitely. I think that just seeing the variety as well of what was coming out, and being able to taste a little bit more variety. I mean, how many courses was it? Was it something like, it must have been about 9 courses all told.
Probably so, and they kept on bringing out little surprises. Here, have a mousse bouche. Here, have a second dessert. It's like, oh my God, so much sugar.
It got to the point where I kind of felt like we were getting fattened up to be made into foie gras or something like that. It was like, come on, guys, I think that's enough. It was very well done, but very filling experience. But yeah, you're right. I think that those kind of so like we've got all the commonality with all the Disney stuff and that side of things, but having that common interest of everyone just being really into food, that really brought us all together as well.
Absolutely. So now moving away from our joint trip, have you any memories that stand out from all your travels? Because you guys have been to every single Disney theme park. So is there anything from each one that sort of, wow, I'm really missing that more than anything? So let's go to each park. If I was to throw at you Disneyland Paris, what one thing from there would you be doing if you were there right now?
Oh, if I was there right now.
If it got a reservation, I'd be in Bistro Chez Remy having dinner, I think.
Which is funny because my mind went to actually riding the riding the attractions. So maybe we can ride the attraction before we go in there. I don't know. I was actually thinking as well about the walking that you do. So when you stay in the hotels and just that splendid walk, you know, if you're staying near the lake and you sort of walk past the lake and then head through the village and then you know continue on towards the parks. There's something about it. I really like those walks.
It's a stunning place, and I look forward to going back there for like New Year's, like again. Like I really enjoyed doing New Year's there. And
maybe we could be a little bit less jet lagged next time.
I don't mind being like bundled up and stuff like that because it will be cold because it is that time of year. But yeah, it was just stunning. Like that New Year's Day, waking up and having everything like just frozen and frosted and beautiful. It was just amazing. So that's what I'd do. And I'd also nip down to say hello to the dragon as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds a perfect thing because with you guys coming from where you do in Australia, I guess that frosty, snowy type of experience is something you don't have at Christmas.
Definitely not, as it turns out. Turns out that the sun's down our end of the world, and it's usually lucky if we don't wake up going, oh, it's so hot. I remember one Christmas morning leaving to go to Lewis's parents, I think, for breakfast, and we'd given the strawberries. We had some strawberry plants growing out the front, and the little strawberry patch was there, and I gave it some extra water thinking, oh, I hope it'll keep it going during the day. They were dead by the time we got home. Like, I kid you not, they were green in the morning and dead by the time we got home. It was that hot.
Oh, Lord.
So, yes, it gets a tad warm around that time of year. So, yeah, having that really sort of, and we'd just been in, so we flew into London, and so we got to sort of sit in an English pub with it all like, cold outside and have something warm to drink, and it was just, I don't know, there was something about experiencing the festive season in the cold.
Definitely.
Okay, I'll wrap up Paris then, and let's move over to Walt Disney World.
Oh, where do you start? Do you know what? I want to be back in the dress shop with you, Michelle. Let's face it. Like, that was a pretty top-notch experience. Except I'd really like to have unlimited luggage and unlimited money to spend on said dresses, because I probably could have taken at least 5 dresses. I whittled it down to 2 because I'm such a good girl. But
I think they're missing a trick. They need to do matching shoes.
Yes. Definitely.
Some of the outfits have got matching bags, but they really, really desperately need to have the cute shoes. But the thing is with shoes, big stock range for the sizing. So, very difficult. But yeah, that's just my little thing. But okay, so we've done Disney Springs. What about Lewis? Would you be hiding out in the void?
Yeah, I'd go to the void, and I'd do Star Wars, and I'd probably do Wreck-It Ralph again. That was fun as well. So yeah, I'd definitely be in the void.
Awesome. Anywhere else in Walt Disney World you'd like to pop by and enjoy something at? Anywhere?
I would like to drink around the world. That would be awesome.
We've never really drunk around the world, which is really surprising. I think it's very un-Australian of us. But, I mean, as you mentioned, in 2018, our last stop was Tutto Gusto, and that is somewhere that we do tend to visit each trip because it's usually fairly quiet and it's a lovely, shady, cool spot, and the cast members in there are always so lovely and always recommend something good in terms of like what we should have on the food menu if we're a little bit undecided, and it's a little bit of a comfort spot. It's like going and visiting Nonna.
Lewis, what about yourself?
I would like to go to Hollywood Studios and go to Galaxy's Edge, which I haven't been to yet.
Oh, that must be killing you.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I know I will get there eventually, so it's fine. It's fine. And in the meantime, I've got like Star Wars movies and TV and animation and comics and stuff like that. I've got lots of Star Wars in my life. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And to be honest, let them get all the glitches out of the way.
And true.
When you get there, the queues won't be as bad either.
Well, we were saying like we didn't want to go to Galaxy's Edge until the Halcyon is up and running, and so hopefully that'll still be on track, and then we'll get there in a few years.
True, that would make an amazing trip.
Oh, wouldn't it?
But I can't believe you guys haven't drunk around the world. This is a serious live stream opportunity. This down under, around the world. I can just see it now.
Well, we did get drunk in Disney Springs and live stream that.
There may have been a Facebook Live, and I'm not particularly proud of it. And I remember putting down, where did we end up? What's the Irish pub? Raglan Road?
Yeah.
We ended up there, and we're drinking pints of Guinness, I think, at the time, and it was it was a little bit messy, and so I put down like about half, 3/4 of my pint. I just like popped it down, like, right, I'm ready to go. And Lewis was like, but you still got all that. I'm just like, I need to go. I can barely walk. He's like, oh, okay. It was quite messy. So I may cautiously do a drink around the world, but it's it seems like a bit of a mission.
Yeah. But no, I'm sure we can do it. It'd take a day to do it. You'll be fine.
Okay, we'll work our way around that. All right.
So thinking about where you've been before, which hotels have you stayed at in Walt Disney World? And is there a hotel that you are so desperate to stay at on your next trip?
To be honest, we've stayed at a few places now. Animal Kingdom Lodge, like waking up in a Savannah room, like that's pretty cool. Even going to bed in a Savannah room. In fact, a Savannah room is pretty much the reason that you want to stay in your room and never go to the parks. So if you ever want to have a park-free visit, then go stay there because you've got so much to do just sitting there watching the animals. Where else did we stay? We stayed at Beach and Yacht.
We stayed at Yacht and Beach. So we stayed at the Yacht Club the first time, stayed at the Beach Club the second time.
And the pool there, I think that's the main thing about that facility. To me, the hotel itself, the accommodations are not that great for what you pay for, but you get access to that wonderful pool. You've got doorway entrance pretty much to Epcot, walking distance to Hollywood Studios, and obviously access to the friendship boats. Of course, now that we've got the Skyliner. So you've got that on your doorstep too. So it's a really good area to stay in. Maybe I'd like to stay at Boardwalk at some point.
Well, I think because we've done those hotels, we did Animal Kingdom Lodge. Sorry, we did Animal Kingdom, as you said, as well. We also did Polynesian last time.
Yeah, true.
And then Pop Century,
Pop
which
blew my mind.
And Pop was amazing. Like it was, because I think the best way of doing it is go and spend the majority of your trip at Pop Century, and then if you want to spoil yourself, go to
or be a little bit closer to the action.
Yeah, go to one of the deluxe resorts after that, and spend 3 nights there, and that way you're not blowing your budget to spend your whole time there. Because really, at your beginning of your trip, you want to be in the parks, and so spending a lot of money on the accommodation doesn't seem to make sense. But at the end of the trip, if you're going to spend the majority of your time in the resort, enjoying the pool and the amenities and stuff like that, that's the best way to do it.
Definitely. The only downside I found for Pop was that motel style accommodation, in that it didn't have internal hallways. So when there's love bugs about, that makes it fairly buggy. And also we play by what we call Japanese rules. So shoes off before you come inside, and shoes stay beside the door, because otherwise you're just dragging everything in. Because there's the birds come and visit the external hallways and that kind of thing. But as long as you play by those rules, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was good.
I agree with you on that. Pop Century for me is a fantastic resort. I like the open staircase walkway type feel, because if you can see there's a thunderstorm, you can just go straight outside and look at it, because that's the best thing about going in August. Especially being married to somebody who is obsessed by lightning. You know, this guy, he was in his teens, he got hit by lightning, did Tom.
Oh, wow.
He's that obsessed by it. You know, he's made me watch Twister like 50,000 times. And he used to do climbing in Germany, and he was sort of climbing up this mountainside, and literally he got struck by lightning and he was abandoned up there till the mountain rescue people came and found him, and luckily he survived. But since then he has loved going to Florida, and a big part of it is going in the summer to see these amazing lightning shows.
And you do get them, that's for sure. It's almost like a 3 o'clock. It's sort of, you look at your watch and go, okay, 3 o'clock. Yep, then the clouds are rolling in. Yep, there's the lightning. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Okay, let's move away from the east coast of the States and go over to the west coast and to Disneyland. Any special things you'd like to be able to do there right now?
Right now, what I wouldn't give to be having the chef cooking me a lovely dinner at Napa Rose with whatever witchery that they do, that they just select all the right things for you, and they're serving the person next to you something completely different because they've recognized that they need something completely different in their life right now. It's the most amazing experience, and I wouldn't have to cook dinner for myself.
I'd like to have a churro and go on Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Ooh.
I was so stoked at Christmas to have finally done all of the different songs for that attraction, and I love it.
It's amazing doing it over and over and over again. It's that morning that we spent. How many times did we end up riding it that morning? Was it about 6 times or 8 times? It was something really disgusting.
Yeah, because it was extra magic hours, and we just like kept on getting off, getting back on, getting off, getting back on.
Because it's literally like maybe we would have 2 other people in the attraction with us at any given time. It was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
It was, I miss it. Do you know what else I miss? And I know that we've already covered off on it. Australians are booze heads, whatever. But I miss Trader Sam's. The last time that we went there, my sister from Brisbane was there, and we ended up meeting up with her and her friends at Trader Sam's. And I thought Trader Sam's, like going in and sitting at the bar, was like the ultimate experience, but actually sitting around with people that were like massive Disney fans and sitting outside on the terrace, that was really cool. And I miss that joint, and I miss their drinks because let's face it, they're yummy.
No, I agree, and I was very fortunate to have again visited there at Christmas and had free lunch, which was even better.
Bargain, absolute bargain. That's brilliant.
Lewis, anything for you for Disneyland?
Well, other than the churro and Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd like to go to Galaxy's Edge as well.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to leave that one out.
But I'd also like to go get some beignets as well. That would be very nice.
Oh, yeah, Mickey-shaped beignets. Yeah.
I'd like to split a Monte Cristo because I can't eat that all by myself.
You know what? I reckon you could split it in a group of 4 and still be really full.
Yeah, you probably
Especially if you order those cheesy garlic fries as well.
Oh, the garlic fries with the Parmesan and a Monte Cristo to share, and finishing off with beignets is the way to go.
Yeah, so that's what we'll book it in, Michelle. That's what we're doing
Okay.
next time we all go there.
Sorted.
Yeah.
It's on the list. It's on the Excel spreadsheet.
Excellent.
So moving further afield then, because obviously we said at the beginning that you guys have been to all the Disney theme parks. So if you were to set foot in Hong Kong, what would you be doing in the park?
Ooh, I think the first thing that I'd do is ride Mystic Manor again. Just jump straight on.
Would you? I would go over to Tomorrowland and go on to Ant-Man and the Wasp Nano Battle because we haven't done that yet.
That's true. That's true. I just like that whole thing of doing something comfy because you're back home.
Yeah.
You just like, and there's something about that attraction and not knowing which car you're going to be in, like which bit of that last scene you're going to enter in on, and I don't know. So wonderful.
Yeah, for me, it would be getting on to Iron Man, the Iron Man experience, and then getting on to Nano Battle, and then doing Hyperspace Mountain.
So just take you back for a moment to the Ant-Man and the Wasp attraction. What type of attraction is it? Because it's one that I'm not too familiar with.
It's a refit of what used to be their Buzz Lightyear attraction. So I understand it's a shooting kind of thing,
Yes.
Lewis. Am I correct? And it operates off the same ride vehicle.
Yeah, same track, same ride vehicle, all that sort of stuff, just re-themed to Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay, so that's another attraction that I can do appallingly on because I am not good at these shooting ones.
And I can have another one of my sniper photos taken. It's terrible. The same expression on my face every time.
What you like, woman. Okay, let's leave Hong Kong and go to Tokyo. And you've got a choice. Would you do Tokyo Sea or would you do Disneyland?
See, this is like the ultimate question because there are so many aspects on either side of that. And I always get a little bit stuck. Do you know what? At a push, I would probably go to Disney Sea because I think the snack game over that side, you can get a couple of extra things that are a little bit extra special, like your gyoza hot dog. That's pretty neat. And what a way to start your day as well. I think, I'm going to go with that. But what am I going to ride? I want the Nemo and Friends. What's the name of that attraction? Because it opened probably about a month after we went there, and it's just I'm really excited to go and try that attraction out because it looked amazing, and that was just from the outside. But if I was to re-ride something that I've been on before,
Nemo and Friends Sea Rider.
It is called Nemo and Friends.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So if I was to jump onto something that I've been on before, I don't know. There's something really delightful about the I call it Aquatopia, but it's not called that, is it?
No, it is Aquatopia.
It is Aquatopia.
You call it Watertopia.
Watertopia, sorry. There's something about that. It's just like a neat, fun. It's one of their trackless system rides, but it's water based, so it's like this ballet of vehicles on this pond, and it's beautiful to see, and I love it.
And plus, if it's a hot day.
Oh yeah, I think that they do increase the water getting on us if it's a warmer day. The weather that we had when we were there was a little bit more sort of cooler and a little bit wetter and rainier as they were heading into, or they were just coming into their summer, so it was still a little bit of the spring action happening. But there's so much to do over that side. You can do a bit of fine dining on the SS Columbia, and I love it.
Well, that's what I would do. Like, I'd go to the Teddy Roosevelt, and I'd have a frozen Kirin and some food.
True.
So, it's the SS Columbia is an amazing place. But ride-wise, I'd definitely go and jump on their Tower of Terror because it's such a different experience to all the other towers of terror in the world.
Sounds a good plan to me. I think you'd find me in the Duffy store buying up all the merch.
Yes, we would. I think there's multiple Duffy stores, so we wouldn't see Michelle for at least a week.
Yeah, and seems you guys have enabled me by acquiring a cookie for me. I so love
we
Cookie.
did nothing of the sort.
And that video you sent me of Cookie exploring the hotel over in Hong Kong was hilarious.
Oh, that was it, the Explorers Lodge. Yes, that was such a brilliant hotel to stay at. If you're going to go to Hong Kong, highly recommend that little joint. It's quite lovely.
Okay, so fly into Perth, explore Perth, maybe visit some other places in Australia, and then go up to Hong Kong with you guys.
Oh, yeah, that'd be splendid.
Holiday planned. Okay, Shanghai then.
Oh, Shanghai. Do you know what? Like, there's so, and this is a place that we've only ever visited over Christmas. So it's again like heading into the northern hemisphere at Christmas time. It's quite special, doing that. there's so many things up there that are just so good. Like accommodation wise, I think that nothing really bet their we were able to go up to their concierge level for the hotel, and like seeing, because it's directly across from the park and you can see right through to the castle, seeing the fireworks from up there was outstanding. But their breakfast service was out of this world because it catered for the sort of the European taste as well as catering for the Chinese taste. And so you could choose between like these amazing noodle dishes as well as all the other bits. And it was just, it was definitely a very, very privileged and very, very amazing experience.
And just like the way the hotel's positioned, looking towards the castle, and you can see, Tron on the right side of it. And it's just a phenomenal view, like just from the whole.
Even like from downstairs in the lobby. Yeah, it's quite lovely. And but speaking of Tron, have to be the first thing I get onto next time I'm back.
At Shanghai?
Oh, yeah. Tron me up.
Yeah. I'd say Tron, and then we'll grab some caramel popcorn and just go to town.
And then walk over towards Pirates and jump on Pirates and just sit there with our mouths open, as I tend to do, or maybe it's just me.
I think that's why you get so much exercise when you go to Shanghai Disneyland, because it's like
walking between the two.
Yeah, Tron's one side, Pirates the other.
Yeah. It's
You see, that's what I love about you two. I give you one attraction and you turn it into a whole day park visit.
Soz. Well, mine could be Tron and Lewis's can be Pirates. Yeah. And because, we tend to travel together, well, we'll just have to grin and bear it as we ride each other's attractions.
Disney's such a big, massive part of your life. It's so weird that it's not with us and we don't have any trips planned. We don't have those trips to review and report on and plan, but those memories still feel like it's like it was tomorrow. No, like it was yesterday.
It does. It really does. I mean, you think about it, it's been 2 years since we were all in Walt Disney World and on the cruise together, and it really does feel like just yesterday. And it's probably because, you do go back and you revisit them so often in your mind. We did a Disney Pound for the, was it the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party? And that was pretty cool, like riding all the attractions and everything like that. But I still wear the sneakers because I did sort of like a bit of a Cinderella Disney Bound. And so I had, instead of, because glass slippers, turns out, not so park friendly. So I had some very silver glittery sneakers and still have them. They're starting to get a bit ratty now, but, you'll have to basically hold me down while someone else throws them out, because I'm going to be keeping those babies around. And every time I pull them on, I think about that and just think of all of us jumping onto Space Mountain and just like having an absolute ball. It's, all those memories are so wonderful to have, and will get us through until we can have our next trips.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting the last few hours with you for your show and then on my show. Why don't you give people a bit of a shout out where they can find such a fantastic Disney podcast?
Well, you can check us out. The website is thegentlemanofpopculture.com. Where you can see all of our shows, including Diz Down Under, Tangent City, Unscripted the Film Show, Wascast, Not Dead Yet. Have I forgotten any of them?
Probably. I seem to invent one every second week, so it's a bit of a problem.
She's almost as bad as the After Dark podcast network.
I know. I'm trying to compete with Craig.
But yeah, and also we're on Facebook and Instagram and all those social media type of places.
Wonderful. And I haven't yet seen it on your whiskey podcast, that little thing I've sent you about the abandoned ship crate of whiskey as well.
Now that actually became, I'm trying to find, there's going to be an episode, so I need to find a bottle of the Shackleton and sit down and crack one of those open, because lost whiskey cases are a really interesting thing, but I could talk about it for days. So there's something in the works. Let's put it that way.
the last Wascast we did, though, was thanks to Nick from the After Dark Podcast Network, because he sent us through some Coke signature series. And so, yes, there's a Disney link on the last Wascast.
That's true.
Fabulous stuff. Well, as a way of ending the show, I just want to remind everyone where you can find us, the Disney Dream Girls, Instagram and Twitter @DisDreamGirls. Our website for show notes and lots more is DisneyDreamGirls.com. We have our Facebook page, Disney Dream Girls, and we also have our Disney Dream Girls podcast family, where family members share their fun and laughter all about visiting the Disney theme parks. So why not pop on over there and have a join up? If you want more shows from the Disney Dream Girls, you can also visit us on patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls, and there's over 100 shows on there that you can just throw a few dollars our way and gain access to them all. Anyway, that's it from me for this week. It's a goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from us.
Bye.